How much will 50,000 Casper potentially be worth in 2025? In today's video, let's find out. However, before I continue on any further, please keep in mind I'm not a financial advisor and how these are all just hypothetical scenarios. There's absolutely no guarantee that any of it is going to happen. But now that we've got all of those formalities out of the way, I think it's important to note how as of right now, 50,000 Casper is currently worth $1,600. And with that in mind, if let's say Casper were to go to the price of $1, it would be a 31.25x from here. And of course, at that point, 50,000 Casper would be worth $50,000. And personally speaking, do I think that Casper could go to the price of $1 during this bull run? I think so, because I think this is actually my worst case possible price target scenario for Casper, because I think it's that amazing. You got to think about this, right? Casper is an enterprise grade layer 1 blockchain with flexible deployment options. And what that means right there is that, first of all, Casper, it's purpose-built for enterprises, unlike a lot of other layer 1 blockchains out there that are not. And also on top of that, Casper's network can easily transition between a private, a public, and a hybrid network, which is very fantastic because let's say a business, right? Let's say they don't want to have a public network. They can, for let's say instance, opt for Casper's hybrid solution, which allows for some information to be private, but some to be public. However, if let's say an organization wants to adopt Casper, that let's say they want all of their information to be out there, then they can opt for Casper's public network. However, again, right, in a different scenario, if let's say someone wants a private network, they can have that as well. And of course, that's for the ones that do want a lot of privacy. So when it comes to Casper, it really does cover off the bases, in my opinion. And it can even solve the blockchain trilemma, which is having decentralization, scalability, and security all at the same time. Unlike Ethereum, by the way, which can't even solve that, which I'm going to get to a little bit later on in the video, but you get my point, right? A lot of layer 1 blockchains out there, they can't solve the blockchain trilemma, but Casper can. And here's the crazy thing. Casper, as of late, has had a very heavy emphasis into AI, aka artificial intelligence. And you got to think about this, right? We take a look at how the AI market is expected to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030. I mean, God, no. Boha. You got to think about this. $2 trillion is a very staggering amount because the GDP of a very amazing economy and country, much like Canada, Canada back in 2022, GDP was around $2 trillion. So the fact that the AI market, again, right, anticipated to be worth around $2 trillion over the next 6 years, that's saying something right there. And again, right, Casper, they're amazing in a sense that they understand trends. They understand what could be the next big thing, which is why they're heavily being focused on AI right now. And I think AI, it's going to be a massive narrative moving forward. That's what she said. So Casper, they're willing to shift their focus and they understand that, hey, AI, it's going to be the next big thing. And they understand that, which is why they're focused on it. And I think that right there showcases just how special Casper is. So when I take a look at Casper, at the price of $1, I don't see why not. I think it's that amazing, especially again, right, when I consider its A+ utility and fundamentals. And now I do want to talk about the next price target for Casper, and that is Casper at the price of $2. And at that point, 50,000 Casper would be worth $100,000. And now, when I say Casper at the price of $2, some people out there, they may think it's kind of ridiculous, but I think not, because I think it's a lot better than something like Ethereum, because when you take a look at Ethereum, it gets a lot of unnecessary praise, in my opinion. Yeah, sure, the ecosystem, it's amazing, it's massive. Again, that's what she said. It's very diverse. But in my opinion, when it comes to the straight meat and potatoes, when it comes to the fundamentals, so to speak, it's just not as good as Casper. Because first of all, Ethereum and gas fees, they're ridiculous. You got to take this into consideration, right? If let's say someone wants to send their girlfriend's boyfriend's grandma some ETH to buy a used Bratwurst extender, Lead Captain Edition, or G-String, guess we'll never know, from the pawn shop, right? Can you imagine the gas fees they're going to have to pay for that? I mean, it's going to be insane. It's going to be ridiculous. It's a complete nightmare, in my opinion. And think about this, right? On Casper, you don't see that. Gas fees are extremely cheap. Anyone who's used the Casper network, they'll know what I'm talking about. Also, on the other hand, if someone has used Ethereum, they'll also know what I'm talking about. It's complete night and day difference. And also, Ethereum arguably not even scalable as of right now, which is a major issue. I mean, you got to take this into consideration. Ethereum's very own co-founder, not a random Joe Schmo eating Doritos, Papa John's pizza, Domino's, Doritos in their mom's basement, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the very own co-founder of Ethereum, Charles Hoskinson, who's also the founder of Cardano, by the way. But yeah, besides that point, he predicts that it may take Ethereum a couple more years to even become scalable. That's complete nonsense. That's way too long. A layer 1 blockchain in 2024, not even arguably, right, scalable. That's just too much, too much in a bad way, of course, because that's complete nonsense. But again, right, Casper, it's highly scalable. Not any of that type of nonsense going on. So when you take a look at Casper, it's just a lot better than Ethereum. Now, it's very underrated. The ecosystem is nowhere near as massive as Ethereum. But again, right, when it comes to the straight meat and potatoes, Casper is just a lot better. So Casper at the price of $2, I don't see why not, especially when I consider just how realistic the market cap is. Because if Casper, let's say, were to go to the price of $2, considering its current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $23.8 billion. Understand this, right? We take a look at SHIB. All-time high market cap was around $40 billion. Dogecoin, all-time high market cap was around $88 billion. Ethereum, even more crazy, right? All-time high market cap was around $560 billion. So really, in the grand scheme of things, around $23.8 billion market cap, it's actually not too much to ask for. And now, I do want to take a look at the next price target for Casper, and that is Casper at the price of $5. And at that point, 50,000 Casper would be worth $250,000. And now, $5 for Casper. I get it, it's insane. But in the most bullish case scenario, right? In the most optimal scenario, during the peak of this bull run, I could very well hypothetically see this as a reality, because when you take this into consideration, as of right now, there's actually more people than ever before in history owning cryptos. And that's not a joke. You take a look at Crypto.com research. They say how as of right now, there's around 575 million crypto owners. That's over 500 million. Now, back in 2021, I think we can all agree that that bull run was insane. But at that time, during the peak of the 2021 bull run, only around 300 million crypto owners. So now, there's nearly double that amount, which is insane. So if the 2021 bull run was already as crazy as Snoop Dogg's hairline, which there's 15% remaining, but yeah, besides that point, now that we have this many new crypto owners, it's going to look like that Britney Spears type of level, if you know what I mean, type of insane. God, boha. If you catch my drift, this bull run, I think, is going to be ridiculous. The FOMO, buying pressure, altcoin season, it's going to look insane, especially, again, when you have this many crypto owners. As of right now, more institutional investors than ever before, more enterprise adoption than ever before. Man, this bull run, it could very well be so amazing. Really, the sky's the limit. And here's the thing. When I say during the peak of the bull run, some people, they may wonder, yeah, when is it, right? When is the peak of the bull run going to happen? Take this into consideration. Historically speaking, altcoins, they typically reach their peak anywhere between 6 to 12 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And as we all know, the Bitcoin halving event is anticipated to happen sometime this April. So let's say we take a middle ground approach, right? Let's say we take 10 months after a Bitcoin halving event. We don't take the best case scenario, which is 6 months. We don't take the worst case scenario. Let's say we just put it 10 months, hypothetically, right? 10 months after April, we're taking a look at potentially February of 2025 for altcoins to reach their peak. And now, of course, it could potentially happen sooner at October, or maybe even worst case scenario at April of 2025. But again, right, we're taking a middle ground approach here. There's still quite some time for altcoins to truly shine. Now, again, this is based off historical data. But again, I think this, if anything, truly showcases how there's still some time. Now, a lot of people out there, they're predicting that the peak of the bull run is going to happen, in the next 10 hours, next 10 days. But in my opinion, that's not usually how it works, right? It typically takes some time. But again, patience is key. And 10 months from now, potentially, it's actually not that long. So again, patience is key. A lot of people, they're impatient. But again, there's still some time. And I can't wait. Casper at the price of $5 wouldn't surprise me whatsoever in a most bullish case scenario. If the FOMO was at an all-time high, buying pressure, all recognition is going towards Casper, I don't see why not. Think about this, right? Avalanche. Did anyone ever expect Avalanche to be the way it is right now? So many haters in the beginning, right? So many critics, so many ding-dongs. You take a look at, for instance, something like Solana. Did anyone ever expect Solana to be this amazing, right? So when we take a look at it, a lot of these blockchains that are massive as of right now, back then, no one ever thought it was going to pop off. You take a look at Solana, right? You take a look at Avalanche. Back when the market cap wasn't that high, around 400 million, everyone thought it was going to be doo-doo. They thought that, it's never going to pop off. Then what happened, right? So when it comes to Casper, at the price of $5, it's not that crazy. Again, we take a look at, for instance, even Cardano, right? Cardano at one point, everyone thought it was doo-doo. ADA was just hovering around a couple cents. Everyone thought that, wow, it's never going to pop off. Then what happened? Boom, 2021. As of right now, people say, wow, Cardano, Solana, Avalanche. But I think Casper, it's going to be the next big thing. I can't wait. At the price of $5, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during the peak of this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. And also on top of that, make sure to check out this very fantastic video. I think you all would really love it. It's Will Lee the Captain. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.